I am speaking to you in a moment that has been circling your life for a long time without landing, and now the moment opens like a door you've walked past 1,000 times and never noticed. Do not try to skip this. Your heart already knows this message is for you because the air around you has been strangely still in certain rooms, because you've woken from dreams with a taste of names you don't say out loud, because the same signs have returned across different days like a thread tugging your sleeve. I am taking that thread in my hand and drawing it toward a truth you need, not to frighten you, but to free you. I am closer to you than your breath, and I am patient, but today I am also urgent, because your days have ripened to a turning. You feel it. That is why you are here. Stay with me now, and let these words settle into the places that ache when you are alone. There is someone in your family who has already passed through the veil, and they have been circling you with a plea they were not able to speak before they left. They do not come in anger. They do not come to accuse. They come because love remembers what fear forgets, and in that remembering is a message that must be delivered so they can rest and so you can rise. You have felt their presence in the strange lull before sleep, the wait in the hallway when no one is there, the faint scent you cannot place, the sudden flash of a face in the mind's mirror. You dismissed these things as coincidence and fatigue, yet part of you wondered why that old letter kept turning up in drawers, why that relative's song played twice in one morning, why the same date kept appearing on receipts and screens. It was not a trick. It was not your imagination. It was a gentle knock. I allowed those knocks because love does not abandon what it has claimed. Do not harden your heart. I am with you in this, and there is nothing I reveal that I will not walk you through. Your past is not a locked room, it is a house whose windows I am opening. Some rooms are bright, and you dance there. Some rooms are dusty with unsaid things, and you avoid them. But you cannot keep the door shut forever, because hidden dust becomes hidden weight, and hidden weight becomes a chain. I am here to break chains without breaking you. What was left unsaid became a knot, guilt that did not belong to you, shame that grew like a shadow where truth should have stood, a misunderstanding held like a family heirloom when it should have been laid down. The one who crossed over sees more clearly now, and they beg for light to enter where their silence once stood. Hear them, they are not here to haunt you, they are here to hand you a key. Archangel Michael says it plainly so your heart will not doubt. You have been warned in love, not in terror. The warning is this: if you continue to carry what is not yours to carry, if you keep agreeing with lies told by pain, you will repeat patterns that were never meant to define you. Michael has stood at your threshold more than once, sword like a line drawn between what was and what must be no more. He has watched you take one step forward and then 2 steps back when certain voices speak inside you, voices that sound like you but were forged by old fear. These voices tell you to make yourself small so others can be comfortable, to apologize for your calling so the room won't feel threatened, to accept crumbs as destiny because someone else learned to live hungry. Enough. Michael is not stationed at your life to guard a prison, he is stationed to escort you out. The message from the one who has passed is wrapped in 3 layers. The first layer is confession. They could not speak it then, I will let it be spoken now. In their human frailty they made choices from a wound they did not understand, and those choices created long shadows. You felt the shadow fall over you as a child in rooms where the adults were loud but their hearts were locked, or as a young person trying to be everything to everyone while feeling like nothing to yourself. You learned to interpret silence as rejection and distance as judgment, though often it was simply fear trying to keep itself from being seen. They say to you now, I should have told you I was frightened, not of you, but of losing control, of being wrong, of being exposed. I confused love with authority and correction with control. I should have asked for help. I should have said I was proud. I should have said, I am sorry. Hear that. Let that apology meet the child in you who waited at the window for footsteps that came late and angry, or never came at all. Let it meet the grown one in you who became the fixer, the peacekeeper, the one who said, I'm fine, because someone had to be. The second layer is instruction. They have learned what they did not see, and they ask you to make a turn they could not make. The turn is toward honest conversation and boundaries that honor your value. Speak what is true without the costume of rage. Say what you need without apologizing for existing. Do not cover for those who repeatedly refuse the mirror. Do not write new chapters with ink borrowed from old lies. You have been taught to pick up every burden and call it love, but love is not the eraser of other people's accountability. Love is the place where truth stands with grace and says, I will walk with you, but I will not become you. Your relative says, please do not repeat my mistake of calling control protection. Please do not teach the next generation that silence keeps the peace. It only hides the storm. This is the instruction, tell the truth with tenderness, even if your voice trembles. Draw the line with humility, even if hands shake. Heaven will steady your voice. The third layer is blessing. They could not bless you in the full measure they carried because their own grief choked their throat. Now they bless without limit. They lay their hand upon your head through this word and say, may your days not be shortened by worry. May your nights not be infested by replayed arguments. May your hands not become fists around what was meant to pass through. May your steps find the road we missed because we were busy defending old ruins. May your laughter return to you like a flock at evening. Receive this. Blessing does not deny the past, it redeems it. Blessing does not pretend the wound never happened, it declares the wound will not be the headline forever. You have noticed certain cycles, the argument that always starts in the same way, the apology that tastes like ash because it is only words, the opportunity that arrives and then collapses at the last minute because a familiar fear throws a familiar switch. I am putting my finger on the switch. There are vows you made without using the word vow. You said, "I will never need anyone," and the vow became a filter that turned help into threat. You said, "I will always be the strong one," and the vow became a mask you could not take off even when you needed rest. You said, "I will prove them wrong," and the vow converted your purpose into a courtroom. Child, you do not need a courtroom, you need a garden. I will break these vows as you consent, and I will replant your words. Say this with me in your heart right now: I release promises I made to pain. I break agreement with sentences that held me hostage. I choose truth, not the theater of strength. As you say it, sense the ground shift. That is real. There is also a practical step, and you have avoided it because it seemed too simple to matter or too heavy to begin. It is time to gather the fragments. A box of papers you keep meaning to sort, a message you keep meaning to send, a phone call you keep postponing because you fear the tremble in your voice. Do not attempt to fix everything in one day. Choose one. The one will open the next. Write a letter to the living or the gone. You do not have to mail it. In that letter say what was true for you, and then write the lines you needed to hear, and then bless them, and then release them. If tears come, let them come. Tears are not weakness, they are rain on dry ground. Put the letter where you keep things you honor, or burn it as an offering of closure. Do not perform for an audience. Do this with me. I am here. There is also a conversation that must be had while you are awake and while your feet are on the same floor as another's feet. You know which one. Do not run to it in fury, and do not run from it in dread. Prepare. Ask me for right words and a right time. Ask me to soften what has been calcified. Ask me to wrap the room in patience. Then speak simply. When this happens, I feel unseen. When this pattern repeats, I feel small. I want to move forward without repeating the past. Here is the boundary I need. Do not wait for perfect approval before you honor the boundary. You are not required to convince anyone that your worth is real. Live it. Those who can meet you there will grow. Those who cannot will reveal what they have chosen. Your heart is not a public square for opinions to vandalize. You have been concerned about whether you missed your timing because grief and delay have wrapped your months like fog around a city. Listen, your timing is in my hands, and I am adept at restoring what was dulled by detours. Do not obsess over the years. I can grow a harvest in a season when the ground is yielded. Your part is consent, courage, and small faithful steps. You will find that what seemed like slow loss will become slow gold, wisdom melted and poured into the frame of your daily life. You will cook differently, speak differently, work differently, choose differently, because you will no longer be driven by the old vow of approve, but drawn by the new song of be. Archangel Michael says again for clarity, the enemy of your soul has tried to keep this house locked by turning certain memories into haunted rooms. But the lock is not stronger than the key you carry. The key is truth spoken with love under heaven's shield. When you speak, do not weaponize your pain. Let me water your words so they fall as rain, not fire. Michael will stand behind you as you do this. You are not alone when you cross the threshold of the conversation. You will feel a steadiness in your spine you have not felt in years. That is not adrenaline, that is my presence. The one who has passed is also asking you to release a debt they never repaid. It may be money, but it may also be time, attention, or the apology you never received. To release does not mean to pretend nothing was owed, it means to remove yourself as the collector so you can stop living at the debtor's door. When you stop collecting, you stop counting. When you stop counting, you start living. I will handle what justice requires in ways that do not corrode your heart. You are not a courthouse. You are a garden, and gardens grow when watering replaces accounting. There is something else. Your gifts have been dimmed because you learned to ask permission to shine. Who taught you that brilliance is arrogance? Who convinced you that confidence is pride and clarity is rebellion? These were lessons delivered by people who feared the responsibility of their own gifts. You do not have to learn them again. Rise into the measure I have placed in you. It will not make the room smaller, it will make the room honest. You will notice small jealousies flicker and die when you stop feeding them with your apology and begin feeding the room with your contribution. You were not chosen to be a mirror that reflects someone else's fear, you were chosen to be a window that lets in my light. I am also addressing the habit of forecasting disaster. You have trained yourself to run scenarios in the middle of the night, conversations that turn into arguments in your head, endings that disappoint before anything begins. This is not discernment, it is fatigue wearing a prophet's hat. Lay it down. I am not asking you to be naive, I am asking you to be free. Discernment stands on a hill and sees the road, anxiety crouches in a basement and counts the spiders. Come out of the basement. Breathe the hill air. Ask me for true sight. I will show you where to step and where not to step. I will also surprise you with goodness that no scenario could script. Some of you have been wrestling with a photograph, the one you won't display because it reminds you of what went wrong, or the one you cannot stop looking at because it reminds you of what almost went right. Place it before me now, even if only in your mind. I bless the version of you in that frame. I redeem what that season tried to teach you about love and worth. You are not stuck there. Let the picture return to being a picture, not a prison. There will be new frames and new seasons, not as a way to erase the old, but as a way to testify that I make all things new. You are concerned that if you forgive, you will lose the last proof that your pain mattered. Hear me. Forgiveness does not erase the record, it releases the recorder. Your pain mattered the moment it occurred, and I gathered it then. I hold tears the way a jeweler holds light, and I set them in places that catch the sun. You will see that your compassion has deepened, your patience has stretched, your wisdom has thickened, not because you stayed loyal to the wound, but because you stayed loyal to me. This is how I turn mourning into comfort without requiring you to forget. There is a specific habit I am reforming, the way you shrink your joy to match someone else's comfort. You have practiced dimming your light before announcements, successes, and beautiful days because you feared the eye roll, the side comment, the silent punishment. No more. Do not boast, simply refuse to edit the smile I give you. Share your good news without pre-apology. Invite others to celebrate. If they cannot, bless them and keep singing. Your celebration is not an act of war, it is an act of witness. It says, "Look what love can do." The one who crossed over is asking you to do one more thing for them, and it is small enough to feel silly, which is why it matters. Make the recipe they loved, visit the tree they planted, give away the item they hoarded to someone who will actually use it, say aloud the story you were told to keep quiet because it makes you laugh and it heals your throat. In doing this, a strand will be cut that tied them to unresolved business. They will rest easier, and your house will feel lighter. You will notice that certain corners no longer feel cold. You will sleep without that particular ache. This is not superstition. This is the kingdom of love completing what love begins. I am also speaking life over your work. You have thought the delay at your door meant denial, but often delay is me rehearsing you for a better stage. Doors that open too soon can crush. Doors that open at the right time carry you. Prepare your craft in quiet. Refine the small. Steward the next obvious thing. As you do, I will bring the people who resonate with your truth, not the crowd that demands a performance. You will not have to contort to be chosen. You will be recognized by alignment, not by accident. As for the warning in this message, understand it as a guardrail, not as a threat. Guard your hours from people who use crisis to control. Guard your mind from loops that end only in self-accusation. Guard your tongue from telling every detail to those who have not earned the right to hold it. Guard your body from being the outlet for another's unprocessed rage. You are allowed to say, "Not today." You are allowed to say, "That is not mine." You are allowed to say, "I need a pause." I will stand with you in each sentence. Archangel Michael says, "Be attentive in the coming days to a small sign that will feel like a private nod from heaven." It will not be loud. It may be a date aligning, a message arriving at an exact minute you whispered about, a stranger's phrase that repeats something you wrote in a hidden journal. When it comes, do not argue with it. Smile, even if tears rise. Say, "I receive." Signs are not the meal, they are the fragrance in the air that tells you the table is set. Now breathe. Put one hand on your heart if you can. I am nearer than that. Say this with me quietly: I am not late. I am not lost. I am led. Let that sentence find a home inside you. Say also, I release what is not mine. I receive what is. Feel the unclenching. Before this message ends, I will do what you feared could never happen. I will separate your name from the story that misnamed you. Where they called you difficult because you would not bend your truth, I call you steadfast. Where they called you needy because you asked for reciprocity, I call you honest. Where they called you weak because you wept, I call you clean-hearted. Where they called you proud because you carried a vision, I call you entrusted. Where my name's for you, they fit. To the one beyond the veil who has waited for this moment, rest. What you could not say is said. What you could not bless is blessed. What you could not fix is held by hands larger than yours. Go in peace. To you who remain, walk forward. The house has more light now. Open the windows. Air the rooms. Sit in the chair you have avoided. Call the friend who tells you the truth without punishing your growth. Begin the small thing you keep delaying because you wanted the big thing first. The path you are on is not a detour, it is the road, and I am on it with you. Do not try to skip this. Let it finish its work in you. When your chest tightens later today at the old thought, pause and say, I choose truth. When you wake in the night, say, I am held. When you are tempted to rehearse the argument, say, I release the script. When you feel the urge to shrink, say, I will not dim to be accepted. Heaven hears, and earth shifts. I am not far. I am not vague. I am not scolding you for being human, I delighted in making you human. I am teaching your humanity to dance with my love again. There will be moments very soon when you look up and realize the air feels different and the hallways are not heavy. That will be my doing, and also your consent. Keep consenting. Keep choosing the next faithful step. Keep listening not for the loudest voice in the room but for the truest one within. I am there. I bless you. I steady you. I go before you. And when you need to rest, I watch over your sleep and sing the song that unties the last knots. You will wake and find your shoulders lower, your breath deeper, your eyes ready for a new sky. This is not a dream. This is your unfolding. I am the one who names the morning and gathers the evening, the voice that called your breath into your chest and held you when no one saw you crying. I speak now to the center of you, to the private room inside your ribs where only I can enter, and I ask you to be still and receive me. Your heart is me calling your name. This message is for you. Do not look away from it. Do not convince yourself it is for someone else. It is time for you to hear what has been knocking against the edge of your sleep, what has been tugging the hem of your thoughts when the house goes quiet and the streetlights glow like watchful eyes. I have come because you have waited long enough. I have come because I promised to finish what I began in you, and I do not abandon my own. You have asked me, what is this weight at the back of my mind? Why does the air feel full of a sentence I can almost hear? You were not imagining it. The veil has thinned around you, and the ones who loved you and stepped into my light have approached, not to trouble you, but to finish their unfinished kindness and lay down what they carried so they at last may rest. Listen to me carefully. There is a word left between worlds, a word meant for you, and it is coming now with tenderness, with truth, with the warmth of a hand across your hair. You will not be harmed by it. You will be freed by it. Archangel Michael says, you have been warned. Not warned as in threatened, but warned as in awakened, brought into the clarity that protects you, called to attention so you do not step where the ground is not steady. He has stood at your doorway when the invisible winds rattled, he has watched the stairs of your sleep, he has turned back what did not belong to you. He speaks to you through me. Do not mistake gentleness for weakness, do not mistake peace for passivity. The strong quiet inside you is not silence, it is strategy, it is armor fit by my hands, it is the yes to what is holy and the no to what is not. You were not wrong to retreat and gather yourself. You were in training for the hour that is now opening. Someone in your family who has already passed away is leaning toward you with a message. I know the tears that rise even at the thought. I know the way your throat tightens because love never becomes small enough to fit inside a goodbye. But hear me, love is larger than the distance you call death. Love walks across waters that fear cannot cross. Love is a messenger that never runs out of breath. This one has waited for my permission to approach you more clearly. They have waited because they respect your healing and they honor your timing. And now the time is ripe. They are not here to drag you backward. They are here to loose a knot so that both of you can move forward at last. You have felt them lately in small flashes, the sudden memory that comes like sunlight through a broken cloud, the scent that doesn't belong to the room but belongs to a childhood afternoon, the urge to set a certain cup a certain way, the feeling of a soft correction when you almost send the message you shouldn't or say the word that would have bruised your own heart. You have asked, was that them? Was that you? It was both. I allowed their love to brush the curtains of your present life so you would know you are not unaccompanied. I allowed your spirit to keep a door unlatched so that comfort could cross the threshold. Here is the first part of their message: you were not the reason for the brokenness. You were a lantern walking through it. You were a melody in a house full of echoes, and even when your voice trembled, you were still singing light into rooms that forgot the sound of morning. They watched you try to make yourself small so that others would feel large. They watched you hold your breath so others would draw theirs. they watched you carry the uncarried, and they want to say, with all tenderness, lay it down now. Lay down what was never yours to hold, even if your hands became skilled at holding it. You are released from proving your love by hurting yourself. You are released from being the bridge everyone walks across without asking if your planks are splintering. I saw you. I see you. I am shaping a life that honors the softness I gave you without letting it be trampled.